are doing well and ready to give me your analysis as well as predictions in terms of the third ODI. Now, we do know that this would be a dead rubber because India have won the series, but still, West Indies will be looking to clinch the last one at least. It's, of course, happening at Queen's Park Oval, Port of Spain in Trinidad. And talking about the third ODI, action जो शुरू होने जा रहा है at 7 p.m. So, in terms of what do you think is going to be panning out for West Indies today, let me know that in the comment section. And talking about what we can expect from the game, I have both my cricket guests, Vignesh Bharadwaj as well as Pratik Bhatt, joining me in the studios. Two very happy Indian fans. So we'll start on that note. Series that India has been able to win. I'll start with you first, Vignesh. What do you think would be West Indies' strategy going in today, considering the series, of course, has been won by India now?
So basically, as I always said during the start of the series, it's all about trusting the process for West Indies under Nicholas Puran. So even though the series is done and dusted for as in India's favor, West Indies will be looking to carry the momentum towards the T20I series and also towards the World Cup. So a win is like more of a confidence booster for West Indies.
Whenever you hear that line, trust the process, I think you automatically think of Mahendra Singh Dhoni for some reason. For everybody saying hi in the comment section, hi to you as well. Now, coming to you, Pratik, of course, in terms of India winning the ODI series, there's a lot of talk about. Let's get a quick word on you. Where do you stand with ODI and the future of ODI cricket? There's a lot of conversation, a lot of talk happening about that. What is your personal takeaway from it? Do you think people are done and dusted with the ODI concept?
No, I completely disagree with everybody who have opined that ODI is dying. I mean, with all due respect to all the former players and current players. I mean, when you look at players like Shea Hope and Shikhar Dhawan, uh, I don't think they have done particularly well in Tests or T20s as they have done in ODI series, ODIs. When you look at them, they're made for ODIs. And when you see players like that in this era, what does that tell you? I think ODIs need to be there. It has to be there. It gives a good balance between Tests and T20s. It is not a kind of format where you just have to hit out or get out, or just survive somehow, be there, score runs no matter what the conditions are. Or it's also not the case that you just negotiate balls, just leave the good balls and just play the bad balls, wait for them and just survive. It gives a good balance. ODIs are important for me. I think ODIs need to keep going the way it is for now.
Alright, so that is Pratik Bhatt's takeaway. आप सबको क्या लगता है? Because Ajay Jadeja had a very interesting statement. He said, जो काम 3 घंटे में हो सकता है, वो 7 घंटे किसके पास है in today's time to be spending? So where do you all stand with that? Tell me in the comments. Now, talking about the match, let's take a quick look at a couple of statistics. Let's start with the head-to-head first. Let's find out where these teams stand currently. Out of the 138 matches that they have played, West Indies have won on 63 occasions. India have won on 69 occasions. 2 have resulted in a tie and 4 no results. All right. On दूसरी तरफ, if you could also take a look at the approaching milestones, and then I'll come to Vignesh to tell us which one he thinks is the most doable. Vignesh, if you could go through the graphics on the screen and tell me, according to you, which is the most doable यहाँ पे. If our producer could show us all the milestones, and Vignesh can pick.
Yeah. So Shikhar Dhawan is just 65 runs away from completing 6,500 runs in the ODI format. The second one, Shikhar Dhawan requires 2 more boundaries, force basically to get to 800 force in the 50-over format. I think if he's going to get Shama Brooks, Brooks needs 2 force to complete 50 force in the ODIs, and Suryakumar Yadav requires 9 force to get to 100 force across formats. Okay. So I think if Shikhar Dhawan's getting 65 runs, he's going to complete the first 2, get 2 force, and as well as complete 6,500 runs. And Brooks, again, if you could put up the stats again, that'd be great.
All right. If you could take a look at what Brooks might be looking at in terms of milestone, if you could have that on our screen so Vignesh could take a look.
Brooks needs 2 force to complete 50 force in ODI. Yeah, that's actually achievable. The way Brooks is batting, he's technically really good, and he's also getting a lot of boundaries under his belt. So that's also achievable. And Suryakumar Yadav requires 9 force to get to 100 force across formats. I think, again, depends on where he's batting at number 5. Depends on how much he's going to score today. And with that, I think the first 3 are pretty much achievable, and we'll need only time will tell about Suryakumar Yadav's.
All right. Now, all of you tell me in the comment section. Most of you are waiting for the playing 11. We'll get to that in a bit after the toss update as well. We have a lot of other exciting things to be discussing with all of you. So tell me in the comments, what do you think is the most approaching, which milestone rather is the one that a cricketer can do in today's match? Dusri taraf, a player battle is always super interesting. Let's take a look at what are the player battles in today's clash. Let's find out from Prateek which one he's looking forward to personally. If you could take a look at the player battle, we have King versus Chahal here, and we have another player battle between Hope versus Siraj. So, Prateek, what is your takeaway? Which one are you most excited for?
The latter, Hope versus Siraj. I would say Hope went through a bit of a slump after having a great start in 2022. He scored a century against Pakistan, and then he did not cross score of 21 in 6 innings. And in the last match, he once again was among runs. So I think you could say that a player of Hope's quality cannot be kept quiet for long. But yeah, he seems to be in good touch again. But then again, Siraj, he's finding his rhythm in one-day format, and he looks good. I mean, Siraj, we all know since that Test series in Australia, his confidence is back. He's a leader of the pack now, one of the leaders. He can bowl with a new ball. He can bowl in the death overs. But now, what would matter the most is how Shehu would negotiate Siraj's swing early on in the innings, and I really am looking forward to that innings. It's a battle of two quality players, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one more than the other one.
All right. Talking about two quality players, let's find out who are the players to watch out for from both the teams. Pretty sure one of them would be Surya Kumar Yadav from Team India. So we start off with Nicholas Puran. 48 matches. He has amassed 1,392. His highest being 118. And India ki taraf se player to watch out would be Surya Kumar Yadav. No surprises for guessing. In 12 matches, he has amassed 332 runs, his highest being 64. Vignesh, there's you of course spoken about Surya Kumar Yadav's approaching milestone, but on the other hand, what is your really personal analysis about his game, especially in the ODI format, the kind of growth he's had in such a short period of time? We all know that he was probably on the radar for the longest time. Of course, IPL did give him that platform, and then he kind of capitalized on his opportunity when he debuted against England. But in such a short time to be so impactful, what is it about his game that really sets him apart according to you?
Yeah. So to be really honest, I feel Surya Kumar Yadav is one of the best white ball batsmen right now for India. With the number of runs he's getting, the 100 the other day against England, I think he's a very solid player. He goes and approaches cricket in a very different way. I feel with attacking the attacking stroke, the attacking mindset he has is completely different. He plays fearless cricket basically. So I think that gives him a lot of edge and also upper hand with you have seen the shots he's playing. He has all the shots all around the ground. So he's basically a 360-degree player right now. So, and the fearless approach against fast bowlers and spinners, I think that's a big thing right now with all the criticism that's going on with the short ball and stuff. I think he's a really good player, and right now I feel he's India's best white ball batsman.
All right, that's quite a statement to be making. Do all of you agree with that? Tell me that in the comment section. I'll come to you, Prateek, in terms of not something that is super great in terms of the weather. The forecast is predicting a little bit of a rain. We hope it doesn't play villain in today's game. But how would that impact today's game, in your opinion?
If rain is a factor, I think the teams batting second would have more time to understand the tempo, at what pace they have to go, and pace the chase. So yeah, batting second would be crucial in my opinion. Also, I think if rain is going to play the spoil sport, I think it's really bad for West Indies. They really need a win, and a washed out match is the last thing West Indian fans would want. And I would sort of want to see a good match today, even though India have already won the match and it's a red rubber, because West Indies, they're still a big name in cricket. I don't want fans to start to think that, okay, they are not a force in ODI cricket anymore. They are still one of the big names in cricket, and it's not good for the sport if we go one more game without West Indies winning the match or not showing what they can do. I want West Indian fans to still believe in what they've got in the ODI circuit. They came very close to winning the first two matches, and the third match would be really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably a really sad way to look at it, right? In both the matches, they came super
Yeah.
close, which means that
Yeah.
they didn't give it away, and that is what made the series also so interesting. Now let's move on to social tracker to find out वहाँ पे लोग क्या बात कर रहे हैं and what are they tweeting about. I also see a couple of comments from our viewers. We'll try taking that in a bit. BCCI has tweeted smiles and sunshine ahead of the third ODI against West Indies. Toss coming up shortly. Okay, if they say sunshine, then we'll believe them. Punjab Kings has tweeted minutes to go before the toss. Share squad, are we ready to cheer for Captain Gabbar and team once again? All right. Kostub has tweeted India is the first team to win 5 consecutive ODI series against the Westindies in Westindies. And these are, of course, the stats so far on your screens. We do have another one. Ishan or Ruturaj might get a chance today by resting Gill as the series is already won. All right, that makes for a very interesting topic. Ishan Kishan or Ruturaj Gaikwad? See a lot of CSK fans having already tweeted in the comment section that they want Ruturaj Gaikwad. ठीक है, बात करते हैं ऋतुराज गायकवाड़ के बारे में. Vignesh, do you think he'd be having that chance? Great opportunity. We know why. Series has been won. Gill can be rested. Is he, someone that India should be looking to try in the ODI format?
But again, I don't think India is going to see this as a dead rubber. Basically, with the amount of bench strength and the squad India have, it's a platform for Gill, and he's off to two good start, but he's not converted one. So I think Gill might convert today, and he's definitely going to start, I feel, and Ruturaj might miss out. Yeah.
All right. So, दूसरी तरफ, another comment coming from Harjinder Singh that they should give Arshdeep a chance. Okay, so Pratik, I'll come to you. Of course, Avesh Khan got that opportunity, but he was quite expensive. Can also be because he's nervous. It's an international, arena that you're ultimately playing on. But do you see Arshdeep Singh coming to the scheme of things for today?
I think this would be a good opportunity for India to give Ashdeep a chance and see how he goes about things in this format in a foreign condition. Basically, there won't be any pressure on him to perform as far as the result is concerned. Of course, there will be pressure of playing for the team and showing what he is capable of. But apart from that, whether he deserves a chance, I think so. He is a very talented swing bowler who can make the ball move early on, and he can do very well in the death as well, which we have seen time and again for Punjab Kings. But yeah, I'm not too sure who he can replace because it's still a very young bowling lineup. So yeah, everybody is trying to prove what they are capable of, and all of them are talented bunch.
All right, that's one way to look at it, that there's a lot of, talents out there. But we will come back to talk about the game in terms of the toss. Where everybody was waiting, India have won the toss and have opted to bat first. Probably that's a good, decision going into that. Vignesh, I'll come to you about the toss and also with the statement that Pragyan Ojha had made about Shikhar Dhawan. He stated that he definitely sees Dhawan in the scheme of things for the 2023 ODI World Cup. He also believes that's because a combination like Rohit and Shikhar has worked previously for Team India. Also, this responsibility of captaincy has added value. Even though he did struggle a little bit in England, of course, you're not the captain then, but he feels that, overall, the scheme of things and considering he's done well in this particular opportunity as well as the Sri Lanka series. What's your takeaway about the toss as well as Shikhar Dhawan, on statement that Pragyan Ojha has made?
Yeah, about the toss, I think India might just try to defend this time because they've. But the first thing that comes to mind with the toss with the rain prediction is it's a little surprising. But again, India wants to, with the DLS method, trying to help the team batting second as well as. But again, India with the. Sorry. Yeah, with India chasing the last game, I think they would want to try and see how things go with defending the total. And also now coming to the Pragyan Ojha Shikhar Dhawan one, it's a no-brainer basically. You don't try to fix things which is not broken. With Dhawan and Rohit, they've scored more than 5,000 runs together, and I think it's a no-brainer for Team India to just go out there with those two and maybe just again they've been setting the platform for Team India for the last almost a decade. So why change things in the World Cup. So yeah, he's definitely going to play the World Cup, and he's definitely going to open with Rohit Sharma.
All right. Now, talking about another particular update that's come on is that Paddy Upton is a mental conditioning coach. And he has joined Team India right ahead in terms of you look at the high-profile T20 World Cup 2022, a few months before that, because he was also there in the 2011 World Cup victory. As well as a mental conditioning coach. Now, there's a lot to be talking about this aspect as well, because we know ever since the pandemic affected all our lives, bio bubbles have had a different kind of impact on players as well. Many have come out and spoken about it. I'll come to you, Prateek. Considering we might not be able to talk about how much he might add value in terms of his role, but a quick word on that. Quite important, and at least in today's circumstances, to have someone renowned like him to be joining Team India.
I think, first of all, having a mental conditioning coach goes without saying. It is important. It is something that any sporting team should have. And rightly so, most sporting teams do have a mental conditioning coach of sorts. And specifically about Paddy Upton, we know how iconic 2011, the year 2011 is for us, for Indians. And also, ever since he's been involved in the IPL, he knows the Indian cricket system really well, the players really well, which is an added bonus. So yeah, having someone like him in the camp would be massive. Not too sure how that would affect the results, but it would definitely affect the mood in the changing room, and it would definitely, especially because, like I said before, he knows the Indian cricket very well. He's been involved with Indian cricket for the last decade or so. Yeah, it's massive for India.
Great. So it's fantastic news for Team India. And of course, only time will tell how that would, of course, motivate these players as well. But like he said, every sporting team does require, a mental conditioning coach, and which is what has happened currently with the Indian team for getting him on board. Now we'll come back to India versus Westindies third ODI. Let's take a quick look at what both the captains have to say. Shikhar Dhawan has said both games have been high scoring. We want to put up a good score. The best thing so far is everyone is stepping up. It's great to see everyone performing. Rahul Dravid has done well to oversee the mentality. We're preparing well for the 2023 World Cup. Prasid comes in for Ravish. And Nicholas Pooran has said the first two games we were heartbroken. We are motivated today. We need to get over the line. We spoke about batting 50 overs, but we need to be more consistent. We will get to see the result eventually. Okay, summarizing what both of them have to say, in a bit, we'll just show you what the playing 11 looks like. But I'll come to you, Vignesh. Both the captains have had their say. On one hand, Dhawan has also said they're prepping for the 2023 World Cup, said that Rahul Dravid has done a fantastic, job being the head coach. But Nicholas Pooran identifying that what we discussed earlier, heartbreaking that both the games were pretty close, but they would like to cross the line today, despite the fact that the series.
Yeah, West Indies has been good in the last two games, but good doesn't win you games these days. You have to be better than the opposition. So,
all right. What do you all think? I want to know what your predictions are. Tell me that in the comment section. Who's going to win? Is it going to be India, West Indies? Let's keep, the fact aside that India has won the series. Like Prateek said, you would want to see a close contest, and you would want West Indies to cross the line. Eventually, you would want the other team also to have that opportunity, if you can put it across that way. Prateek, your takeaway from the statement about if you look at in terms of the West Indies changes that they have three changes. Alzari, Roman, and Shepherd are out. Holder, Kimo, and Kati are in. And Holder comes, back after having been infected with COVID. But we know what kind of a deadly player he is. So, what's your takeaway about this?
I think, first of all, dropping someone like Alzari Joseph when they are really looking to win, I'm a little surprised by that. But having said that, the replacements, they're not bad either. Jason Holder, he's a leader. He has been one of the most consistent players in the longer formats for West Indies over the last 5 years or so. He will definitely provide more with the bat than Alzari Joseph. Uh, and yeah, of course, with the ball, he's a great new ball bowler. And over the last 2 years or so, he has also added. He's also emerged as a good death ball bowler, which is also an added bonus. And keep ball again, he will offer with both bat and ball. And I think overall, these changes are made to add more balance, more depth to all the departments for the side, which is why there are pros and cons to the changes. I'm a big fan of Alzai Joseph because he's one of the leading wicket takers in the format this year, among the top 10 nations, of course.
All right. Are you all surprised with the fact that these are the changes that West Indies have made? Tell me that in the comments, and we'll come to Vignesh to wrap it up for us. We'll take a look at the playing 11 and find out from him quick thoughts. We've spoken about the changes, but here's what both the teams are looking like currently. What's your take, Vignesh? Does it look like
Yeah.
balance on both the sides?
So again, India's always starting well, but if you've seen over the last two games, from overs 11 to 40, in the first ODI they scored 175, but they lost 5 wickets. Again, in the second ODI they scored, from overs 11 to 40, they scored 170 again, but they're losing wickets in clusters. So it's like they're setting up a platform, they're setting up a launch pad that, but they're not able to give the finishing touch. So that's where I feel India needs to, again, with the death bowling, it's not going to be a problem when the normal playing 11 comes in. But again, it need the middle overs is being a problem for India right now. If they are able to bank on the first 10 to 12 overs, I think it's guaranteed that India is going to score 320, 330 odd, and it's going to be easier for them to defend. So again, middle overs from overs 11 to 40, they're struggling a bit. We can't say struggling, but they're losing wickets in clusters. But if they're able to avoid that and set a platform for the last 10 overs or 8 overs to go all guns blazing, I think India as a team can reach like around 350 easily.
All right. So for India, probably it would be not to fall like a pack of cards. And for West Indies, like Puran has said, they have to be a little more consistent and cross the line this time and not just come, towards the finishing line. Before we wrap up, we do know that after this, they will be battling it out in the T20 series, but they will be missing the services of KL Rahul. So before we end the show, Pratik, what is your take with the fact that he's not available again? We're not seeing him in action, but he's reportedly in line for the Zimbabwe tour.
Yeah, it's a shame that we can't see KL Rahul in the next T20 series because KL Rahul, he's a quality player.
Right?
He's been part of most of the ICC events, the major events for India, which simply because he's a quality player. And for him to miss out due to unavoidable circumstances and not really because of his form, which has never been a problem over the past 2 3 years, it's a shame. And yeah, it's a nightmare for a sports person when you miss out due to illness or injury. But I hope he finds his rhythm again in the Zimbabwe series. Yeah, we all want KL Rahul to perform, and yeah, first of all, be there in Indian colors.
All right. So one way to look at it is it's a good way that India actually has a lot of talent to cover up, so you don't really feel like you're missing this particular player. But dusri taraf, you also want players like KL Rahul to be donning the Indian jersey and playing for the national team. On that very note, want to thank everybody for joining us on this session of In the Air on Crick Tracker. Want to thank Pratik and Vignesh, of course, for joining me as well, and all of you for coming with your analysis, predictions, and questions. It's an absolute pleasure to be in conversation with all of you once again. But don't forget to join us when we come back to discuss everything about the T20I series. And like I say, for everything related to the world of cricket, continue following Crick Tracker.